Bismillahi wa salatu wa salamu ala rasulihi kareem. Fassalamu Allahi alaikum wa rahmatuhu ta'ala wa barakatuh. I hope everyone is well. I decided to uh, make this brief video because I was having a conversation today with a friend of mine, and they were pretty much talking about the fast and how um, certain people, when it comes to when the month of Ramadan comes, this is when everyone wants to decide that they're going to become these righteous, upright people, and now they want to spend most of the days inside the masajid and do all of these other acts of ibadat, these acts of worship and stuff and things of this nature. Which, alhamdulillah. I mean, we don't want to take um, any good that someone does, because as we know, for every good that we do and for every wrong that we do, that this will be put on our scales on the day of judgment. So we don't want to belittle that, right? But the thing is that Ramadan is not the month of Ramadan, rather, and fasting in the month of Ramadan. It is not limited to just these things, so like fasting and in other words, fasting is not, or Ramadan is just not about fasting. Okay, it encompasses a lot with this month of blessings. You understand? And the thing is that when we have this mentality that I'm just gonna do good when Ramadan comes, this is a bad mentality to have. Okay, because the purpose of the month of Ramadan is not limited to that month, meaning the obligations in which Allah is telling you to fast, the obligation of fasting is within that month. But we have other obligatory fasts as well. Um, Fasting for an oath if you can't do the other acts um, that was provided or that was given to you to do. But in general, fasting in the month of Ramadan, it is an obligation, okay? But we tend to forget about the good deeds in the month of Ramadan. Now, but what is the purpose behind this? Because, see, the thing that we have to look at is that we as Muslims, you know, we have this type of mentality that we can go through the entire year, do wrong. Ramadan comes, we go to the masajid, we make tarawih, and then everything is forgiven. And it doesn't work like that. And we're aware of the issues of what's said that, you go make tarawih prayer, everything is forgiven. But this is not what this means. Everything has to be from ikhlas. Everything must be from sincerity. Okay? The condition of these prayers, these extra prayers in the month of Ramadan being met, of your sins being forgiven, is that you have sincerity and that you've made tawbah for the wrong that you have done. Not that you just go to a masjid and you pray. Okay? It doesn't work like that. Okay? Now, the thing is that, so people say things like, now I'm going to go to the masjid, do this, I'm going to read more Quran, I can't wait for Ramadan. But what can't you wait for? Because if you're not going to learn anything from it, then it's pointless anyway. Allah is not giving us things just out of habit. Okay? The prayer is not for habit. The prayer is for you to connect with your Lord. The fast is so that you will connect with your Lord, right? You paying your zakah is so that you will connect with your Lord. Everything is so that you will connect with your Lord, right? Allahu Azza wa Jal. This is the purpose. So I'm gonna read, and I'll read it in English. Allah tells us in Surah Al-Baqarah, okay, this is the second surah of the Quran, in ayah 183. Right? This is a we have ayats that is based on fasting, or based on the month of Ramadan. So here's what Allah is saying. Allah says, Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu. What did Allah say? He said, O you who believed. Alright, this is a past tense. But Allah is saying what? He said that upon you is fasting. Upon you is fasting. And it was decreed upon those before you to become righteous. I want to make one correction here, because this is not what Allah has said. This is what the translator has said. But I'm gonna read so that we can have basic understanding of what's being taught here. Okay. So he says, what's the reason? Tattaqun. All right, so that you will be righteous. That is the purpose of the fast. Yes, the not eating, the not drinking, the avoiding the sexual intercourse, all of these things, it is the fiqh of the fast. But it is not the spirit of the fast. Without the spirit of anything, it's just an empty shell. Okay, our bodies, we can do movements, right? We can do actions, right? But once the soul leaves the body, then the body is just an empty shell. It has no purpose any longer. And it's the same with everything that we do, all of our acts of worship. Okay? Fasting, if you just go through this month of Ramadan, fasting, with no kind of sincerity to it. And it's just, I have to fast. I can't eat, I can't drink. But I'm not going to learn any lessons. Then what is the point? What is the point? Now, let's move on to this. Now, it is said, when is it? Okay, so it's done for a limited number of days. So whoever amongst you is ill or on a journey, okay, then they make them up. Okay, and upon those who are able to fast, but with a hardship, okay, okay, so, and we'll get into that in a second. Then it says that that the person, you know, he will make these days up. Okay, and whoever gives more is better for them. And then it says, but to fast is best for you if you only knew, right? In kuntum ta'allamun, if you only knew. Now, the thing is that, now this is dealing with fiqh. These ayats right here, we're going to get into some fiqh issues here. The first thing is what it said. So if you're ill or if you're on a journey, okay, then you will make them up, okay? And if you're ill, then you can do ill, meaning that you will not recover from this sickness, or that maybe the sickness will take, you know, quite a long time for it to recover. Then it says you can pay with a ransom. This is a fidya. Fidya, right, is what you give. You feed the poor. You feed the poor because you can't physically fast. These are all fiqh issues. So if one is just reading this, but he does not or she does not understand the fiqh behind this, right, then now what has happened? They're going to read and they're going to go off of their own understanding, which is wrong. Okay, which is wrong. Fasting deals with fiqh. Okay, so you have to know how to fast. You have to know. And for us, we don't say things like, oh, well, this doesn't make sense to me that this will break the fast or that will break the fast, or because depending on the method, different things are going to break the fast anyway. Right? It's going to make things invalid or valid anyway. Okay. Now, for us to sit, especially those who have never actually studied, and to sit and say that this doesn't make any sense to me, okay, well, that person is showing their ignorance. You understand? Because it's not about what makes sense to us when it comes to this. Okay, when it comes to a fiqh. See, because fiqh here, this is the purpose of us following these things so that we can know what to do and what not to do within our worship. All right? So having knowledge is for you to know what not to do. Okay, and I hope that that makes sense, to stay away from ignorance. So then, okay, so Allah, so then it said that the month, uh, that this is the month that the Quran was revealed, right, for the people and clear proofs of guidance, and whoever cites the moon, right, another fiqh issue, okay, because we have to know when Ramadan starts, we have to know when Ramadan ends. So the calendars give us dates, right? So they predate it, but just because it's on a calendar doesn't mean that that's the day that Ramadan is going to end or the day that Ramadan is going to begin. Okay, and we have to be clear about that as well. But the main point that I'm trying to express is that don't wait for Ramadan to do good. Ramadan is supposed to be a lesson for us, okay, a training for us, that it will carry on even outside of the month of Ramadan. Let's not wait to study fasting until Ramadan enters, and let's not wait to do good when Ramadan enters. So people say things like, "Well, when Ramadan comes, I'm gonna go to the masjid more. When Ramadan comes, I'm gonna pray more." Why wait till Ramadan comes? That's the question. Why wait? Because when you say things like that, it makes it seem like it's not sincere anyway. Because if you really wanted to do it, you would do it from the jump. And then when Ramadan comes, you would just do more. You would add to that. Okay? You would just add to what you're doing already. But when a person says, I'm going to wait until this comes, why wait? Why wait? This is the question. Now, and I want to leave everyone with, this is an act of ibadah. Everyone is obligated to learn the bare minimum of fasting. Everyone, every Muslim who has reached taklif, who is mukallaf, who is accountable and responsible, who is aql, who has sanity, right? Who has reached puberty, every single person, it is on them, okay, to learn the bare minimum of the obligations and the conditions of the fast. It is an obligation, okay? So we have to remember that fasting is one of the pillars of Islam. And we have to understand that in order for a building to be structured correctly, right, we need a couple of things. The foundation must be set, and the pillars must be strong. So in order for us to hold these pillars, these 5 pillars of Islam tight, which the first pillar is your foundation, La ilaha illallah Muhammadan Rasulullah. This is the first pillar. This is the foundation. And then from that point on, then the rest of these 4 pillars, they hold that up. Okay? When one falls, the structure is unbalanced. So let's keep that in mind, my brothers and sisters, and may Allah bless us during this blessed month of Ramadan. Fassalamu alaikum wa rahmatuhu ta'ala.